Hey there, it's great to see you again. I want to start out by thanking all of you who left comments and shared the first two videos with your friends on social media. It's been so great getting to know you and learning about your struggles and your dreams for the future once you finally tackle managing your money better. It's really been a humbling experience to hear some of your stories. And that's why I and so many of you are excited about these videos and the special offer for the Divine Art of Money course I'll be letting you in on very soon. I'm Dr. Jason Kabler, and I've been teaching people like you how to get complete control of their money and get out of debt for over a dozen years now. I teach the techniques that my wife Angie and I use to pay off all our consumer debt for good and pay cash for our last 4 cars, 4 college degrees, every vacation for the last 12 years, and even our daughter's wedding earlier this year. And it's all done with a focus on faith and common sense principles that are time-tested and proven to work. Now, if you'll remember in the last video, I talked about how learning to manage your money better is a lot like climbing Mount Everest. It takes patience and planning. And even with all the patience and planning in the world, only about 50% of those people who try actually make it to the top of Mount Everest. But unlike climbing Everest, anybody can be successful at getting complete control financially when you have the right plan customized for your individual needs. And that's what the Divine Art of Money 21 Days to Manage Your Money Like a Pro online course shows you how to do. You'll learn how to put together your own customized plan that you can follow step by step to finally get control over your money and eventually get out of debt. It doesn't take any extraordinary skill or knowledge, and it doesn't take superhuman discipline to get the job done. It just takes the willingness to do the work that's required to follow the plan. One of the things I've discovered along the way is that when most people finally decide they want to leave the paycheck to paycheck life behind, they really don't have a clear picture of how to do it. It's a case of, okay, I guess I'll start pinching pennies and write down my expenses, and hopefully that'll make everything better. And that's a start, but it's really not enough. And that's why most people fail. When it comes to actually doing it, just having some nebulous idea of improving your finances really doesn't work that well. And eventually that lack of clarity causes you to fail at achieving your goal. It really takes a rock-solid plan you can follow one small step at a time. Now think about it. Most people who start trying to get control of their money don't really have a step-by-step plan for getting the job done. You'll try 1 or 2 things, and then when you don't see immediate results, you quickly end up back in the same old habits. That was Angie and me, by the way. We kind of half-tried a few things back years ago, but our lack of a plan just didn't cut it. It just wasn't enough until we discovered that we needed a step-by-step plan with easy, quick wins at each step that finally made us successful. I've talked to so many people who got started, and after only a few days or a few weeks at most, nothing much changed. They didn't have a good, solid step-by-step plan for how to manage their money better. They had no plan in place for unexpected expenses that we all know are going to crop up more often than we like to think about. You know, learning to manage your money better is a lot like losing weight. Most people who go on a diet and lose a significant amount of weight, they look great for a while, but eventually they gain it all back plus a few extra pounds. And now the reason this happens is because they take a short-term view of weight loss. They do what it takes to reach their goal for right now, but they don't put the long-term habits in place to maintain their weight loss for good. It has to become a lifestyle, not just a goal to be achieved. The most successful people in weight loss, getting out of debt, or anything else are the ones who understand that it takes a long-term view to be successful. It takes a permanent change in your lifestyle that'll keep you on track for the rest of your life. And the cool thing is, once you put these new habits into place and learn to use them for a while, they really become automatic. Once you set up your financial life the right way, you're basically on autopilot from there on out. You're able to put money into savings. You're not taking on new debt and the stress that comes along with it. You're able to be more generous. You're able to leave a financial legacy that you never thought was possible when you were up to your eyeballs in car payments and credit card statements. Now, I know you might be feeling like there are a lot of obstacles standing in your way to getting to where you want to be financially. And I believe it's normal to feel that way. After all, anytime you want to do something that changes your life in a significant way, it's a little scary. And most of us tend to see the obstacles instead of the end result. For instance, some of you have told me you feel like you're just not disciplined enough to get out of debt. But I'm not buying it. It really doesn't take a superhuman amount of discipline. Mostly, it just takes a willingness to change. If you have enough discipline to get up and go to work every day, you have the discipline it takes to get out of debt. I think the reason a lot of people believe they're not disciplined enough is not about discipline at all. It's because they've tried and failed at improving their finances in the past. But what I've discovered in talking to many of my followers is that the real reason they failed is because they didn't have a focused plan to work from. They tried to wing it, which ultimately didn't work, and it rarely does, by the way. That's where the Divine Art of Money course does its best work, because it gives you your own simple plan to work from that every day takes you one step closer to your goal. Just mark off each little step as you achieve them along the way, and before you know it, you're managing your money like a pro. You'll no longer spend more than you make. You'll no longer wonder where all your money goes. And you'll achieve the financial peace of mind that comes with finally having complete control over your finances. I've also had questions asking about what you can do if you have a low income and you don't have a lot of money to put into an online course. I totally get it. You have to be extremely careful about how you spend your money. And I realize that purchasing a course might be a little difficult for you right now. And that's why I've done my absolute best to offer it at the most reasonable price I can for you. That's also why when I open up the course for purchase, it'll open up at the lowest price possible. So it'll be best to jump in early because the price will go up. Look at it this way. You can make an investment in your future now and set yourself up to save more money, make more money, and eventually get out of debt. Or you can continue in the bondage of car payments, credit card bills, and loan payments that are keeping you poor and in bondage. You can use this investment in yourself to make a way for yourself, or you can keep going the way you've been going and keep getting what you've been getting. It's really as simple as that. Some of you have also mentioned that you're really motivated to do better financially, but your spouse just isn't on board with the whole idea. Now that's a tough position to be in, I know. When I first approached my wife Angie years ago with wanting to change our ways with money, she was pretty skeptical at first. And that's also an issue I tackle inside the course. Not only do I show you techniques for dealing with a resistant spouse and hopefully get them on board, but I also show you what to do when, despite your best efforts, your spouse just won't budge on the issue. And best of all, I'll teach you these things using solid biblical and common sense principles that are time-tested and proven to work when you're committed to the process. So now I want to expand the focus a little, and let's take a 30,000-foot view of what's possible when you take action to change your financial life by taking the Divine Art of Money 21 Days to Manage Your Money Like a Pro online course. Now I want you to think about this. How would your life change if you didn't have any car payments, credit card bills, and loan payments every month? How would you feel if you had an emergency expense, and we all do at some point, but you didn't have to put it on a credit card and you didn't have to worry about having to pay it off for months or even years? Wouldn't it be great to be able to just pay cash and move on with your life? Now think about this. What kind of freedom would getting out of debt bring to your life? Think about it. You wouldn't have to stay stuck in a terrible job you despise just because it pays the bills. You'll have the freedom to pursue more meaningful work in an environment that makes you happy instead of sucking your soul dry day after day. You'll have the ability to be more generous. You'll have the freedom to go your own way and even start that business you've been thinking about, but you couldn't do it before because there was no way you could take that financial risk. Even better, you'll have the ability to put money into savings that'll build up over time. you'll actually have the ability to retire one day instead of working until you die. And now, look even further into the future, and you'll even be able to leave a financial legacy to your children, your grandchildren, or even your favorite charities because you decided to take action in your finances today. When you start becoming a long-term thinker and you understand that a small investment and a little bit of work today can produce a lifetime of massively positive consequences, why would you not want to take that first step and get started on the road to getting out of debt permanently? There's a world of such great abundance within your grasp, and all you have to do is get rid of that scarcity mindset that says, I can't afford it, I'm not disciplined enough, or that's only for some people. I can't do that. The truth is, God made this abundant world just for you. He wants you to participate in that abundance to the fullest extent you can. He gives you the ability to get wealth, but it's up to you how much of that wealth and abundance you have. Now, I want to let you know that I'm going to be offering you access to the Divine Art of Money 21 Days to Manage Your Money Like a Pro online course for a short time. So be on the lookout for my next email. In the meantime, I'd like you to leave a comment below the video. Just tell me a little bit about yourself. I'd like to get to know more about you. Who are you? Where are you from? What are your sticking points that have kept you from getting your finances organized in the past? Just scroll down and leave a comment. And don't forget to share this video on social media too, so others can get in on the action.